All right, this is our mentoring session. This is going to cover Standard 6. Standard 6 is assessment.
All right, good morning. I'm going to start off with accommodations and assessments. I've actually sat with Mr. Litweiler and asked him his thoughts on it to make sure that he has a full understanding of what accommodations are and also the difference between accommodations and modifications. So I am in this area because of what he said. He understands the IEP. He understands where to go on there to see what accommodations are needed. He relayed to me, he would even go as far as to, has a student got things going on at home. He's really in tune with his students. So he also addressed to me, he can kind of tell when a student is a little off or something may be bothering him. And the thing I really like the most about what he said is that he would do a little investigating to see what is causing them to maybe not be fully prepared or distracted. And again, he understands that he needs to follow IEPs or 504s. He has a full understanding of that. And he understands also if he needs to modify something, even for English language learners, that there are other resources that he can use to maybe help bring that lesson to that level for those students. So I'm actually going to put an outstanding here for him in that area. The use of assessments, I spoke with him. He does in the FOSS kits when it comes time for a summative. Those kits all have a summative assessment. He was asking questions to the students. I did like that he actually had students go to the board. Okay, that was a great form of assessment. Not only did it have students showing that they knew how to do it, but it also gave students that were in the crowd, in the rest of the classroom, an opportunity to see how those formulas were used. So we're going to go proficient there. He did use many types. He had a graphic organizer. He did stuff on the board. His objectives were clear on the board. What questions were going to be asked were on the board. So it was complete preparation. Also, I'm going to give him proficient in feedback. As those students were doing the problems on the board, he still asked questions. And students that didn't maybe have the answer, he gave them feedback, he explained it. And what I really liked about that lesson also, as with any lesson, that it incorporated some real world. It talked about trucks, it talked about, speed, something that isn't just in math, but it's in all walks of life, and it is very important. So he gave the students appropriate feedback when necessary. I'm going to go ahead and put proficient because in the FOSS kit, when it comes to assessments, those assessments are kind of set up, but I know that he also goes outside, takes personal experiences to add to that, and he's fully aware of other resources that he can use in the event that he needs, again, to break the lesson down for the English language learner or the person who is just on an IEP or the person who maybe just has a different learning style. As for formative and summative, again, summatives are pretty much laid out, but I know Mr. Litweiler, just speaking with him, that if he needed to adjust those or maybe if they were outdated, I know that he prepares for each lesson. So I really believe that if some information was outdated, he wouldn't use that. I am going to put proficient again here. One thing I would suggest that would also be good just for formatives is maybe sometimes as a class buddy share, and then you can walk around and you can see what different students are saying if they're listening. If you got whiteboards, maybe as you do the problem on the board, just have the students hold the boards up. You don't have to say, okay, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're right, you're right. But you can actually get a good visual and see, okay, these three, maybe they don't get it. That's a way to do it. There's another method called buddy sharing where you can have them, again, talk to a buddy, and as you walk around, you can assess that way also. I love it that, again, you had them go to the board, you had different ways that you did it. Some people, they only use paper, and that's it. But your formatives don't have to be paper. It's a quick check. Okay, they get it, they get it, they get it. It could even be, sometimes kids like to even just write on their desk with the expo markers. Let them do that. You can walk around and you can look and see who gets it and who doesn't get it. So I really like the lesson. He followed it. He's always got the kids engaged. Again, the classroom was run smoothly. And that would be the only suggestions that I would have. Granted, some of these things are hard to display during the lesson, but I get the opportunity with Mr. Litwell to, offline, talk about what he would do in certain situations, so.
I had a couple things.
Yes.
Those small boards, I do
Yeah.
like them. Like for the school to get me those,
Okay.
is that a problem?
Okay, no, you could order them, or what I would do is maybe check, next time we have the Money Arts Academy, try to get something from PTSA.
Oh.
Usually at the end of the year, there's some money that comes down and they say, hey, what do you need? And then a lot of times you have teachers that are leaving, so sometimes you see someone leaving. Hey, you got some whiteboards? That's how I got mine actually. Teachers leaving, and I'm just hoarding them. Yeah, I'll take them, and try that.
Good. And then the second thing, just to clarify, the term that Mr. Borden referenced, the word FOSS, that's the curriculum that was here when I got here, and it's school-wide,
It's
isn't it?
district-wide.
Okay, it's district-wide. So that's kind of the, I guess, beginning point of content that we
Yes.
have all to use for
Yes.
our science lessons. So just to clarify that. But otherwise, yeah, we'll conclude the tape then, and session 6 is over. Thank you.